religion across. So all across man, all through the history of man, they've been going with the traditional religion, which was the religion of the worship of the fallen angel, religion established at the instance of the fallen angel by the fallen man. And so they moved through where we now call the Asia, the tradition, the worship of tradition. That is what we can now call idol worship. Idol worship is just like the worship of the fallen being. It's the worship of the demonic spirits. It's the worship of the fallen angel that spoke to man in the Garden of Eden. And then as they spread, remember they were fallen angels, but the one that orchestrated that, now all other angels now took over, all other fallen angels took over and spread across the continent of the rest of the earth, and wherever they were, because there were principalities, there were powers, there were rulers of the darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. They were the ones when Satan fell with the angels, with his cohorts, they became fallen angels. They spread across on the surface of the earth. And so wherever man could move to, he could communicate with those fallen angels, principalities and powers who were in charge of those areas, to give them access, to give them control over those areas. And invariably man would be thinking that they are reconnected to God, not knowing that he was still listening to the voice of the fallen angels and the demonic spirits and demons. So they continued, as man continued from Africa to Asia, from Asia, for lack of better terminology, we use this continent, we mention this Asia and whatever, because there were no names like Asia, Europe, and whatever in those days. So as they moved from one area to the other, they established these communities, they established these nations at the instance of demons, and they took over whatever. So all these traditional religions or idol worship religions were all followed from the land of the ancestral land, the land of the ancient, and is spread across to the rest of the world. So if you come to, for example, Asia, you had, before the coming of any religion, before the coming of the religion that the people are following now, before the coming of Christianity in Africa, and before any other religion, there was the ancient religion or the traditional religion. And so this religion was the pattern of religion spread. There were all across the traditional religion. Okay, in Asia there was this traditional religion. For the sake of understanding, it was just like idol worship, demonic worship, spirit falling, the worship of fallen angels. Those were what we call the traditional religion in those areas from the land of the ancient. So they spread, as the people spread across the surface of the earth, they spread this particular traditional religion all over. Now, if you go to Asia, that traditional religion, that's the worship of idol, embedded in the worship of idol. They could call it a different society, they could call it different organization, they could call it different association, give it different name, but they are all the worship of that particular fallen angel or fallen beings that we are manifesting themselves in different forms to man. And so as they move to Europe, it's the same pattern, idol worship embedded. They could gather themselves, they could organize themselves, more organized like in form of societies, more organized like in form of whatever name they could get themselves more organized, but it's the same demonic being speaking to them in the establishment of whatever values that they have, or national values or cultural values, the same demonic being speaking to them. And whatever religions they established in those areas at the early time were all occasioned by demonic beings. And so these were established across upon the surface of the earth, whether they were India, whether they were China, whether they were Far East Asia, like South Korea, North Korea, getting to Australia, moving to where we call, whatever we call them. No, they were all religions, traditional religion, whatever religion established by the fallen man, orchestrated or influenced by the fallen angels. And so that was the pattern of the religion. So that was why all across the history of mankind, everywhere on the surface of the earth, you could see that there was what was referred to and what is referred to idol worship. Idol worship. Idol worship is the worship of the fallen angel. Is the religion established by the fallen angel. By the fallen angel, by religion established by the fallen man, influenced by the fallen angel. So they passed across the surface of the earth as they established empires, as they established nations. Now, this is how man established religion. So religions, as it is constituted in whatever form, is formed by man under the influence of demonic beings. Under the influence of demonic, whether they call it traditional religion or ancient religion or ancestral religion in Africa or in Europe, in whatever, or whatever name they give it, in Europe, whatever they give it, whatever, any particular area they give it, say this is a national religion, that religion is demonic. That religion is the religion of the fallen man is the religion of the fallen man established under the influence of the demonic being. So this is how the religions, traditional religions, were created from Africa, ancient, and across the surface of the earth. Now, as time passed on, what happened? God Himself. Remember, we say, "Can thou by searching search out God?" It's not possible. But God had created man. And remember, God regretted. We said that God regretted. We start from the scriptures. God regretted that He created man. God regretted that He created man. Why I say the scriptures is because all the scriptures are given by the inspiration of God. Scriptures are all given by the inspiration of God. By the inspiration of God. Now, if any man tells you that he has seen or had seen or will see an angel speaking to him, or an angel spoke to him or her, or an angel spoke, whoever the person could be, if you are listening to the voice of an angel to establish a particular group, to establish a particular religion, my dear, you are operating under the influence of the fallen demonic being that deceived Adam in the Garden of Eden. That is the basic fact. And whatever that person established, whether in the form of group, in the form of association, in the form of religion, that religion is the religion influenced by the fallen being, by the fallen satanic being. That is why it's very dangerous. Now, you see that's why the scriptures. Now, God decided, if God is the one to search out man. God is the one to look for man. That's why I said all scriptures. I'm not talking about that. Now, the scriptures, because God decided to search for man. God decided to search for man. God had to do it His own way. That's why God gave the scriptures. Now, in the history of man, there have been these particular forces, two forces. We established that two forces. The two forces fighting. Right from the Garden of Eden, the two forces fighting. God will speak, and the demon, the fallen angels will come and try to counter that. Okay? Now, when the first fallen man gave birth to the children, the firstborn and then the secondborn, the same, God wanted to deliver man by bringing the person called Abel. But Satan walked through Cain to slay this particular person, Abel. And so you see, it has been, God had always initiated ways of saving man. Now, that happened. And along the line, God from time to time would speak to man, not angels. From time to time, God would do it. Even if it's an angel, you will see that it's different. Because God had to initiate the salvation of man, not man trying to reconnect to God, trying to initiate his own salvation, because man cannot do that.